All right, we got standing barbell overhead press, 2x8, then 2x4 here. Kind of switching it up here. But do see this for the past like 9 weeks. So we'll move into standing variation now. I know a lot of times when people do overhead press and standing, they like to jerk it a little bit, meaning like to like use the legs to push it. With this, you really don't want to use the legs. I mean, there's always a time and place for that to happen. You know, like again, there's like different like called like push jerks and stuff like that. Or like you can utilize your legs like that too. But like for this, for like just regular, basic standing overhead press, you don't want to have your legs involved. You just want to use your shoulders. You know, use that muscle groups to push the weight. So, and another thing too is what you want to do. You want to use this type of your palm right here to really push the weight up. That's what's going to create, you know, more delt focus for you, especially the anterior, the front delt. And again, any type of overhead press you do, barbell, dumbbell, seated standing, free weight machine, is going to build you the overall foundation of the boulders of your shoulders. So we do about 2 minutes here again. Because what I found over the course of this week is with me doing 2 minute rest, I'm able to perform the 2 sets of 8, and plus I'm with through my, you know, the weeks go on, the progression. It's gonna be 8, 10, 12, and stuff like that. So I know those are the 2 minutes. Even when I get to the heavy sets, it's been enough time for me to recover and enough time for me to push that weight and also progress. That's 2 sets of 4 here. Oh, yeah. I don't got any 2.5s. That's unfortunate. Actually, I do. Of course, you know, it's the second week of me doing 4,000 calories. Woke up this morning, 235.2. So everything's moving in place. Everything's moving along as what it needs to go. And surprisingly, me even being at 4,000 calories, and for me, to not really have gained any weight, you know, it's fucking satisfying. But it's also scary at the same time. Because at what point is like, you know, what's the cutoff point, right? It's like, what's the cutoff point for me to, all right, this amount of calories I need to eat and things like that. So who knows? You know, I'll probably do 4,000 for, you know, about maybe another week or two. And then maybe increase it again. Maybe let's say like 4,300 might be the cap. I'm not too sure just yet. We'll just have to wait and see when the time comes. But again, it's like that's the unknown. You just don't know what's going to happen. You just keep viewing it, keep seeing what things are working or things you're, you know, doing that make things happen. Just go about it, things like that. So, but, and of course, with that being said, of course, tomorrow I got a food challenge. You know, the in and out, doing 10 cheeseburgers, 3 animal style fries, and 2 milkshakes. So that'll be a fun little challenge for myself as well. Going tomorrow and see what my actual weight is, if it stays the same or drops even more. Now I was gonna do the calculations for it. I think the whole entire meal is probably gonna be around, I want to say 7 to 8 thousand, because I was looking at the nutrition values of it. One cheeseburger from In-N-Out is like 430 calories. So you times that by 10, it's 4,300. I was looking at the fries, is another like 400. Probably with the additional animal style with the cheese and the sauce they use. Let's just make it 500 for easy math. Times that by 3, it's only 1,500. So that's already at 5,800. And two milkshakes like 600 calories a piece. So now 1,200. So that's 7,000 right there. So it'd be interesting because I did this challenge a year ago, a little over a year ago, and I did it a little different. I did 6 double doubles, 2 fries, 1 animal style, 1 regular, and 2 milkshakes, and I completed all. So it'd be kind of interesting to see. Like, again, going into this tomorrow, I have very high faith that I complete this challenge. But again, it's 4 less pads, but 8 extra buns. So it plays out where it just cancels out, right? So you just have to kind of see and just kind of based on like how it is. You don't just go into it. I'm just kind of have high faith, go into it, just see what happens when the outcome comes. So that's how I'm just looking at it. But other than that, like everything's going smoothly. Nutrition's going well. 4,000 calories. It's going as easy as it can get, to be honest. Not doing anything too much more different. I mean, just working out, training with a purpose, just eating what I need to eat, and that's pretty much it. Even despite the fact that, with the holidays and stuff like that, if my body responds, if my body able to still present and look the way it's doing, you know, I can't be mad about it. And this is why I get back into it. This is why I talk about so much about like what you want to be worried more about, right? You want to worry about like what food you're gonna have, or like you want to worry about like what not out you want to go indulge, or do you want to worry about how you're gonna get your weight back to where it was? All right, that's it. Enough of hold press. All right, overhead press dumbbell, 4x8. My hands are so cold. Um, let me try to retrace what I'm saying. Hey, it'll come back to me. Yeah, it'll just come back to me. But I mean, like I said, it's just like, no, I just don't know what's really gonna happen with, with my diet, the training, goals and like that, how it's gonna play out. But, I just keep doing what I need to do, just making sure, you know, I'm following the 6 principles, making sure that I'm making sure everything is down to a T. And so if anything does become a haywire, when something does become like a hiccup where my body isn't responding, or where my body just isn't adapting to, to a certain amount of calories, or to this type of training, or, to this specific type of foods, then it's easy for me to plug and play because, again, I have so much log history that I know what's working, what's not working. But that's the difference between like people succeed in their journey and then people are not. It's because you treat yourself like a victim language, right? You treat yourself like I can't do this, or why does these things happen to me, or like you just to the point where you just fill up your subconscious mind so much of negative feelings, of negative language, that anything new you try to do, you're just not gonna be fired up to do so. You just got that subconscious mind so filled with negative. It's just gonna be hard for you to succeed in that journey. You know, because at times, like just looking back at everything and the stories I share is like it's crazy to see where I'm at right now, as opposed like to everything that's happened, right? Because for people who succeed in the fitness journey, they have obstacles. They have setbacks, they have adversities, they have roadblocks, right? And the difference between the people succeeding and people not succeeding is that when those roadblocks and those obstacles come their way, they attack it full head on, right? And that's where they develop the courage, and that's where they show up for themselves. Because despite everything, that all these feelings that are coming towards them, and despite everything that's coming towards the way of the obstacles, they're still going head on with it, and still trying to make things happen. And that's how you gotta like shift that mentality, and that's how you gotta shift the perspective of going to the journey, because your journey is never gonna be easy. If the journey was easy, then everybody would be succeeded. But then it's like, where's the fun in that, right? So when it comes to like you facing obstacles, or when it comes to you starting your journey, you gotta flip the script to where you say I can to how can I, right? To say why does these things happen to what can I learn from it, right? To you switching that third part to it just is what it is. I believe that's like the strongest point right there. Where you just tell yourself it is what it is and you just laugh about it. You know, it's the best feeling because like it is what it is. You just move on from it. You can't control what happened. It's just like that happened. You let it affect you for that certain time period, but then you move on from it. You do what you need to do to achieve your journey, achieve your health, achieve what you need to do in your life, right? So that's when you build that courage to succeed in your journey. And this is where you gotta tell yourself you gotta shift the quality to be unstoppable, right? And this is where you gotta tell yourself like nothing's gonna make me quit and nothing's gonna stop me. Once you develop that mentality, once you develop that mindset, that again, when no matter what obstacle comes across your path, you're telling yourself nothing's gonna stop me. Uh, that's enough of these. On to the next exercise. Oh. All right, we got a superset here. We're doing behind the back single arm out race, 4x15. Superset with lateral races, 4x15. That shit is gonna blow your delts up, especially side delts. Whew. But going back to the victim language and then, having the courage is like, like again, it's me explaining my story. It's like, you know, I had so many obstacles came my way in 24, right? But at the end of those obstacles, I kept showing up for myself and I kept, I was still standing, right? I've let those obstacles knock me on my ass and then to the point where, I'm not at the current physique or current status of what my health is, 100%. But at the same time, too, again, life is never about being easy. Like, again, there might be times where, things are going smooth and nothing's happened, but you always got to expect the unexpected. And those unexpected are going to be the obstacles. So when it just comes to, whether you try and start back, of course, with the new year, whether you try and start back in the journey, or whether you try, if you just had enough of your current situation and you try and get to your desired goal, just understand, one, the journey's not going to be easy, and two, you got to expect the unexpected going into it. So when you tell yourself, when you gone through these trials and tribulations of you start and diet or you start a program, you do it for a short time, and then you give up or you quit, and you do that multiple times in the past before, then no wonder why the resistance is so high for you to go into this new journey. Because again, you subconsciously built your mind off negative language, right? You told yourself you can't, or why do these things happen to me, or you just don't hold yourself accountable when you're in that process. Two more sets here. And we all been there at some point too. It just happens. It's the human nature. But what the human nature and what other things happen when you consume is they tell you it's okay. It's not your fault, right? But those people who's telling you it's not your fault, they ain't helping you to where you need to be, right? Like again, That's why trials and tribulations is such an important factor and such a key role into the journey, because you gotta try something for at least a good amount of time to figure out what's working and what's not, right? That's why I created the 6 principles, because it makes it easy for you to follow, and it's very simple to like what you need to improve on. Now again, it's like there's a lot more, mechanisms that go into the 6 principles, but if you can just build a overall foundation of that, you're gonna win every time. And that's ways like, when you like, let's just say for principle one, knowing your foods, right? It's gonna take you some time. You just can't figure out like all these foods work after 1 week. No, that shit don't work like that. Like, it's gonna take you at least 3 months plus to really kind of figure out and really understand, like, okay, cool. Is it a seasoning? Is it this specific type of food? Is it this ingredient, right? Or is it just this combination that doesn't sit well? There's a lot of things that go into it, and there's a lot of things that you have to understand what's really happened to your body, and like, what type of reaction you're causing, right? Are you being bloated? Are you being inflamed? Does it cause you to be tired? All those things that go into play on knowing your foods. Oh, 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 that fucking hurt so hard. Hold on, this pole. Oh, oh, shit. Oh, 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 oh. Oh my God. Thanks for these. Kill it. So what's a victim language, you may ask, right? All right. Let's say when it comes to meal prep, right? How many times do you tell yourself that you can't, right? Or yourself you don't have the time, right? When you tell yourself you don't have the time because of work, you don't have the time to meal prep, right? Or meal prep is just too tedious, or meal prep is just too time consuming. But how are you gonna sit yourself in the same position when you can, explain to me, a whole TV show of Love is Blind, right? Or, a Love Island, right? How can you tell me about a show and can remember every single detail, but you're telling me that you don't have the time to meal prep? And at that point, it's like your priorities just isn't aligned to what you need to do. And so this is why when you create this victim language, you have the time, and that you don't work 7 days a week. So you have the time on some sort of weekend or some sort of day, whatever your schedule is, to invest 30 to 60 minutes to meal prep what you want to do for a week, 3 to 4 days, however the case may be. Is you have the time, your just priority isn't right or isn't aligned to where you need to go. So, and again, it's not like I'm not telling you to not watch your favorite TV show, but understand you can do those two things at the same time. You can meal prep and you can watch a show. Like, you just gotta be more smart about how you approach things and what your priority is. And it's like at the same time, it's like you're saying that because like maybe you just don't have a plan in place, and maybe you just don't know what meal prepping looks like to you. And that's something you just have to do on your own to either again, like find the foods that you like and find different combinations of recipes you might want to try or that you know you'll fall through. Oh, oh my God. Oh, oh, crap, dude. Fuck. Oh, oh, y'all, that's enough of this superset. On last exercise. Oh. Last exercise. Split machine upright row, 3 by 15 here. And that'll be it for shoulders here. What's going, dude? Yeah. But yeah, going back to what I was saying over there, it's just like, yeah, you gotta figure out your priority. And you gotta switch that victim language to like, what can you, like, again, the victim language is like, what can you learn or how can you, right? How can you find the time to be in prep? How can you find the time to create different meal combinations, right? You gotta do all those things to achieve being successful in your journey. And whatever, like, whatever journey it is, but again, we're just talking more health is what you gotta do. And again, it's like, it's no different. I mean, I ain't no different than you. Yeah. Then, when it comes to health, like, you just, do I see things different? 100%. Do I take this more of a passion, more, you know, of a fun thing? 100%. But again, at the end, I'm no different. Like, I'm just as human as you are. I make mistakes too. Like, shit, even the 4 years of my trials and errors, right? I made tons of mistakes, tons of it. It's just at the end, it's like, do I want to keep playing the victim language, or do I want to figure out how can I improve? How can I be better? How can I improve my physique? How can I improve my health? Right? And that's the type of thing you gotta do. And with you switch into a positive language, you gotta have the courage to show up for yourself, right? Despite any obstacle, despite any negative feeling that's gonna be balling up inside you, you gotta tell yourself that you're not gonna quit and nothing's gonna stop you. And it's like, you see me, like, when I talk to you through my 2024 years, like, especially I had two of the same obstacle come across me in the same year, right? I got in a car accident, back in April, and then my car went to shit back in, December. So I had the same issue twice and things like that. So it's like, could I play the victim language? It's like, well, what does these things happen to me? I could have, right? But what good does it do to me, right? Nothing. It doesn't do me any justice. It doesn't get me to where I need to be. So the point is like, what can I learn from this, right? And reflecting is such a big thing. I really haven't done it for myself a lot, but even after this year, I've been doing lots of reflection. And it's crazy how much of a learning curve and how much of a process it is for you until you self-reflect on, a lot of things, right? Yeah. Oh, yeah, one more set here. So for me, it's like, flip that script is like, cool. What can I learn from that, right? After having seen the two obstacles come across in the same year, it's like, what can I learn from this? And so I did reflection. Yeah, I learned what I could have done differently. What I can learn what, cool, if this happens again, this is how I can move differently, right? And at the same time, it's like, I know for me personally, like I've gone through these obstacles way before her too, right? So it's just nothing new to me. Because I just learned how to adapt, just learn how to move, right? And so like any type of obstacles, like I know for myself, like nothing's gonna stop me from or nothing's gonna make me quit my health, right? So it's just like whatever it comes across, I tell myself it is what it is. I laugh it off and I just do what I need to do, right? I'll figure out solutions to that main obstacle problem. I'll figure out solutions, whether that obstacle comes across, if it affects any part aspect of my, journey, I'll figure out different ways to go about it. So it's just like you gotta stop feeding this victim language to yourself that you can't or why these things happen or you just fuel yourself with all this negative bullshit. And again, like it's never gonna be easy. Journey's never gonna be easy. But what you can do is always expect the unexpected or prepare for it. So and get yourself in that momentum, get yourself in that rhythm where it's like, cool, you got, your master six principles, things are moving fully, like you understand the process, you understand all the six, and you got a good routine, good schedule, things are flowing, and then like an obstacle comes across. It's like nothing's gonna stop you from doing that, right? Yeah, it might change the dynamic of what you're doing, things that, but at the end, it's not gonna stop you what you need to do, or it's not gonna stop you with that rhythm and flow. Oh yeah, that's it for shoulders. I know this. I could keep ranting about this. I could keep talking about this about victim language, being encouraged and stuff like that during the journey. But I mean, it just really is like figuring out like where your priorities are. Figure out what time consumption is taking your life, right? Figure out like how can you make things better, but what can you do to be better? They say, and just keep learning. It's all trial and errors. Figure out, plug and play, do something for a little bit. If it's working, cool, stick with it. If it's not, figure out why it's not working, and then how can you improvise and move forward. That's all it really is. But other than that, that's it for the show workout. Again, tomorrow we got the food challenge. So we're gonna hit legs early in the morning. And then I'll be doing the food challenge later on that day and things like that. So stay tuned for that. I'll catch y'all tomorrow morning. Have a blessed day.